Hello, I'm what's left of Burnley Cook, and I was going to do a couple of videos to try to answer a few questions that I see posted on Facebook groups all the time by people who are beginning. And it's so much easier to show it than to try to type it all out. You know, every chuck that you buy is going to have what's called a woodworm screw. Really coarse thread, really big, and they're always going to be able to fit in, so it will index in there. Now, not all chucks are compatible with each other. Not all chucks will be able to hold a woodworm screw, let's say from Vicmark. This Hurricane may not be able to accommodate it, but try to stay within your brand. So this screw is in here. Lots of people are afraid of screw chucks, and for the life of me, I can't understand why. They want to put on face plates. They want to do, you know, a sacrificial glue block. They want to do this. Use the screw. Let me tell you something. I've never had a bowl come loose and flying off of a screw that was on there properly. Now that's the caveat. They're on there just as secure as any other method, if not better. So when you drill the hole in the blank for the screw to go on onto the screw, you do not drill according to the outside of the threads. No, don't make it that big. You size it to the shank, the part that's on the inside, not to the outside where the threads are, to the inside. That's the size you want to do. And that way it will hold, for sure, a blank that's rounded, so to speak, with a hole in the middle. And I'm gonna throw this. You can either put it on there and keep turning this piece and do it completely by hand, or you can just throw caution to the wind and say, I'm going to just throw it on there with reckless abandon. Before I do that, let me make sure I get my safety glasses on. Very important to have things like that. Anyway, I think that if I do this correctly, there won't be any, I'm sorry, that's just me. If we do this correctly, there's hardly any danger to this. The lathe is a relatively safe tool, but just like any tool, there is an inherent danger to it. So let's do it. Dang, boy, you tell me you're gonna throw that thing onto that screw. No, sir, not at that speed. Let's take it down. Let's see what it is. That's 307. That's probably safe enough. Some people do it, you know, a little faster than that. But hold it so this piece is perpendicular. It's parallel with this, going onto the hole. There it goes, done. Look, I've still got all my fingers. Now, I'll tell you something about the jaw that you put it onto. If you have, say, a 4-inch jaw with the screw on it, don't try to put a 24-inch bowl onto it, because you don't have enough backing to make the blank stable. It's going to have vibration when you go to cut it. If you have a set of 2-inch jaws on your chuck with the screw going through it, don't try to put a bowl this size, a bowl blank onto it, because it's just not enough surface, backing surface for it. Make sure you've got enough to safely back it up. Now, once it's on, you're going to want to lock the spindle however you can, and give it just a little turn to snug it up. All right? That's it. It's on there. Now, when I say it's on there tight, it's on there tight. It's not going anywhere. And you can turn it safely now and not have to worry about anything coming loose. Let's put this up here and just cut a little bit. Now, when you start the lathe with a bowl blank on it, if you can, turn your speed to the lowest that you can and gradually bring it up. Okay, well, let's bring it up. That's running at 980. 980. To me, that's faster than what I want to go at, and it is starting to vibrate. If I turn it down a little bit more, that's probably where I would start. 850, maybe a little bit lower. All right, are you ready? Yes. A sharpened bowl gouge. And one of the most important things to remember, when you put this sucker down or you're in your way to put it down, don't let it touch the bowl. If it does, it will slam it down to the surface of your rest. Always make sure you contact that rest first. And I want to take nibbles. It's very uneven, even though I rounded it. That's exaggerated. Start back here. Exaggerated. Exaggerated. All I'm doing... Now, do you hear the difference? Do you hear the difference in the sound of the bowl gouge as it goes over it? You can hear, actually, it has turned from a rumbling into a very pleasant listen. Hear it? At this point, I am not floating the bevel. A lot of people say ride. I think ride's a misnomer. You're floating. So let's see how we're doing with it so far. That's what we've done. The chisel is cutting a pretty good surface. This is still rough as guts, to quote my friend Richard Raffin. And of course, all this is rough. So let me take a couple more shots. I'm gonna go a little bit faster now. That's what we want to produce right there. This is green wood. And Mr. Raffin has a way when he's cutting to put his little finger up here close to the end and deflect the shavings, but I play piano and I'm just a little too afraid to get my finger that too close. Look, let's do something about this bottom. This rest is perhaps too far out. We'll move it a little bit closer. Just gliding across it. Yeah, it's vibrating me a little bit. And now that I have generally, look at the whiskers, wet, that's wet wood. Now that it's basically has a flatness to it, I can float the bevel. going in towards the middle. Now, slow down. Right here. I love cutting green wood. Isn't that beautiful? That is a beautiful wood. This is pecan. And I'm going to go ahead. Let me go ahead and remove this first. Let's get rid of this clanking part up here. How would you like your martini? Shaken or stirred? If you want it shaken, come get on the lathe and put a little shaker down below it, and it will give you a shaken martini. How are we looking? There's the heart. This is heartwood. Sapwood is all the pale, heartwood again. Now remember, and I saw this on Facebook, and to my knowledge, no one corrected it, is that a beginner said, I know that you're supposed to, on the exterior of the bowl, cut from the largest to the smallest. But on the interior, you cut from the smallest to the largest. And I didn't want to say anything, but the truth of the matter is, on the exterior, you cut from smaller to larger. You have supported grain that way. And it's not going to tear. This is tear out all back here because it's not supported. On the inside, you go from large to small. So we know if I want to put it back on this chuck, these are set for this chuck. And remember when I said in a previous video, I want to go for, with green wood, I want to go for a bigger tenon. It's only going to touch. See? Man, got that cracker just right. That's it. That is it. There's nothing more complicated to it than that. Try not to, if you're a beginner, don't complicate anything. There's an old saying that you apply what's called and that's how you do it. Yeah, I was mumbling. I wouldn't say anything for real. This will fit the tenon I have in there. It won't close up all the way though. And that's just perfectly fine on green wood. This is a pull cut. A pull cut is rough, especially on green wood. If I want it better, all right, I'm fixing to get in your way a little bit and lay this down. If I want a better cut out of it, I wasn't going to show you anything about turning a bowl. I'm just trying to help you along with a few things. So I'm going to stop about there. But that's the beginning to turning a bowl. Now, is it complicated? No, there's nothing complicated about it. You see it. I hope you've seen a lot of it up close. You understand some of the elements of it, the tenon, how to use the correct size jaws. Don't get ones that are too small for a big bowl. You won't have the proper amount of leverage. Use a screw chuck. Go ahead. They're sent with every chuck that you buy, a screw. Go ahead and use it because it's a solid connection. And of course, one of the things which would be addressed is I won't show it with that. Come on over here. And if you really look at the side of the tenon. This side where my pencil is rubbing. That is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because look at it. Is it the angle coming outward? Is the angle going straight? Or is the angle going inward? I can use two of those. I can use straight. I could use slightly inwards, but this is risky to do it if it angles out towards the exterior of the bowl. That's risky. You won't have as good a connection. So use common sense. Read as much as you can. Watch. Oh gosh, you got Mike Peace, Thomas Slav. I can't say his last name. I apologize. Richard Raffin, Mike Walt, Ken Lucas. There are just tons of them out there to watch and get good information on how to handle bowls. But this, I hope, gives you a little closer look and takes away some of the mystery on getting the tenon the right size for the jaw and then throwing it on here using a screw chuck and approaching the tenon and riding it to the outside. So anyway, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure. Hope you have a good one.